Hi, I'm Greg Marshall, President of the Agriculture Producers Association of Saskatchewan. This week, I want to focus on the opportunity available to you and I as farmers to be a key solution provider in the fight to sequester carbon and help reduce greenhouse gases. In May 2010, the Government of Saskatchewan passed the Management and Reduction of Greenhouse Gases Act. The Act regulates 22 companies in the province with annual emissions over 50,000 tons of CO2. Companies like oil and gas refining, mining, fertilizer production, steel manufacturers, and Sask Power. They call these companies Licensed Final Emitters, or LFEs. These companies need to reduce their CO2 emissions by 20% in the next 10 years and have three options to do so. First, they can actually reduce greenhouse gas emissions in their plants below baseline levels established in 2006. Secondly, they can avoid the annual emission reduction by putting an amount based on $15 per ton into a tech fund that is supposed to be used to research and develop new technologies to reduce their emissions. They are required to use the tech fund money within 5 years. And finally, they will be able to enter into the carbon market and buy carbon credits that have been created by those that have been reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Right now, that's mainly farmers who have been sequestering carbon through direct seeding practices for the past 15 to 20 years. So the LFEs will be the buyers in Saskatchewan's carbon credit market, and we want farmers to be the first in line as the owners of the carbon credits they have created. There has been a similar carbon credit market in Alberta since 2008, and farmers there have not only been receiving in the neighborhood of $1 to $2 an acre for the carbon sequestered in their land, but they have been able to sell credits for carbon sequestration going back as far as 2002, giving them a substantial revenue stream and the well-deserved recognition as solution providers. You could call this part of the Alberta advantage. What's important to remember is that Alberta is about to update its regulations, decreasing the value of carbon credits and reducing the amount of money being paid to farmers in Alberta. And recently, there has been pressure in our province to harmonize our regulations with Alberta's proposed changes. This would reduce or even eliminate the revenue stream to farmers for the carbon they have already sequestered through direct seeding in our province. The APAS team has been actively engaged within the subcommittees formed to create the carbon credit protocols and are concerned with the changes that are being promoted by some powerful stakeholder organizations. Those changes could render your carbon sequestration efforts worthless and widen the divide between farmers in Saskatchewan and those to the west of us. And that is why Bob Friesen of FNA's Strategic Agriculture Institute and myself attended 6 meetings across the province and spoke about Saskatchewan's new legislation and regulations. Part of our message is the power that farmers have collectively when they pick up the phone individually to voice their concerns. Agriculture groups and lobby organizations like APAS and FNA STAG can do the research and publicity around issues, but it takes real farmers with real voices and real concerns to affect real change. So while APAS is doing its part within the committee structures outlined by the Ministry of Environment, we need you to do your part by calling the Ministers of Agriculture and Environment, your local MLAs, and the responsible departments to raise these concerns. When you do call them, mail them, or email them, tell them to stop discounting the value of agriculture carbon credits as they enter the market under the regulations now being developed. In Alberta, producers have been paid $1 to $2 an acre to sequester carbon. Don't let LFEs pay pennies for the same effort by Saskatchewan producers. Tell them to make carbon credits retroactive. In Alberta, farmers were being paid retroactive to 2002. At a minimum, the government needs to honor the 2006 date that has already been proposed in Saskatchewan. Tell them to serialize carbon credits and make farmers the owners of the credits they create. That way we can sell or bank our annual credits when we deem it most appropriate. And finally, tell them no to the so-called additionality, the idea that direct seeding is now business as usual in the province and that farmers should not be paid in the future for something that they will be doing anyways. Ask yourself, should we stand up for our rights as solution providers in the fight against greenhouse gas emissions, or should our province retitle the proposed carbon credit regulations as simply the Saskatchewan disadvantage? To learn more, I encourage you to visit our website at www.apas.ca, and if you have an issue or an idea that you wish to discuss, please drop me a line at president@apas.ca or call our office at 789-7774. Until next time, I'm Greg Marshall, and remember, call your ministers, ministries, and MLAs to tell them that agriculture should be recognized for the solutions we provide. We have added some contact information at the end of this message to assist you in reaching them.